Hi guys, my name is Ashley. I'm a sophomore biomedical engineering student. I'm going to use this video to talk to you all about Title IX. So this whole video will be discussing topics related to sexual assault and violence against LGBTQ students. This is a short form of a presentation you will probably hear several times through your seminar classes and out-of-class experiences. But it is very important that we all know this information and that we get a refresher every once in a while so that we can keep our community safe and so we can all be aware of what the options are if you or someone you know needs them. So first I'm going to do a brief overview of Title IX and what it means for us at WVU. Title IX protects students in the United States from discrimination based on sex. It covers sexual violence, sex or gender-based discrimination, including stalking, relationship violence, bullying, and sexual misconduct. When we talk about Title IX, sometimes we only talk about how it applies to student athletes, but WVU has an obligation to protect everyone in the campus community from anything that falls in this category. It also means WVU can't do anything to punish you for coming forward with a complaint or helping in an investigation. There are a few different paths you can take if you have something to report. The choice of whether or not to report can be very hard. If you are unsure if you want to file a report, you can meet privately with a Title IX specialist first. You can also speak to someone anonymously on the on-call line listed on the slide. I also want to make sure that everyone is aware of mandatory reporting. WVU employees are obligated to report anything you tell them that is Title IX related. This does not apply to the Title IX specialists I mentioned before or any counselors or therapists on campus. It does apply to your RAs or your professors, so just be aware that those conversations are not confidential. I also want to talk about what to do if you witness or are the victim of sexual assault. When considering reporting, know that WVU and the police department work separately, so you can choose to report to both or to one and not the other. This slide has the recommended steps that you should take if this were to ever happen to you. You have authority over your own recovery process, and talking to a counselor can help guide you through it and support you. You can call the Caruth Center at any time to speak with a counselor immediately. If you feel like there is no one to turn to or you don't want to go through this alone, WVU has a peer advocate program where the student will accompany you to the hospital or to student conduct hearings. They can help you file a Title IX complaint or help you get set up with a counselor at the Caruth Center. Anyone can use this service by calling this number, and it can be especially helpful to have backup when reporting to the police. I also want to make sure that I mention specific resources for LGBTQ students who experience sexual assault at a disproportionately higher rate than their peers. WVU does not tolerate any form of discrimination based on sex, including sexual orientation, gender identity, and gender expression. If you or someone you know in the LGBTQ community has experienced harassment or been the victim of sexual violence, you can anonymously call the LGBTQ+ Center at any time. There are also national crisis lines like the Trevor Project that you can call if you feel more comfortable. Calling an LGBTQ specific line guarantees that you will speak to an ally, and that can ease some anxiety around reaching out. Overall, I hope this video either refreshed your knowledge of Title IX or taught you something you didn't know before. Any experience of discrimination, violence, or harassment is never the victim's fault, and all experiences are valid and real. I got the majority of this information from the WVU Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion website, so I encourage you all to take some time to look at the additional resources there as well.